Every year, thousands of ambitious master plans stall out in the design phase. They remain trapped in drawers, fully rendered and conceptually brilliant, yet fracturing under the weight of their own mounting requirements. This is the mechanism of scope collapse. It occurs when creators try to build the entire ultimate vision at once, falling into an infinite planning loop that makes execution financially and logistically impossible. Handoff architecture provides a methodological exit from this loop. A systems architect specializes in organizing a raw dream and separating facts from assumptions. The goal is to build an explicit, actionable transition that moves the project from the facilitator to the client. A massive vision lacking strict financial and spatial constraints remains a permanent, unresolvable obligation. The Maridaje Café y Cacao project in Venezuela provides a clear case study for this transition in action. The project began as a sprawling $7.7 million educational campus designed to protect Venezuelan origin knowledge through hospitality, training, and research. To prevent this institutional vision from becoming a fantasy, the team compressed the master plan into a single executable physical phase known as Scenario B. Scenario B establishes a rigid $1 million construction cap, focusing resources on the main building and 2 small outlying shelters. Strict spatial bounding and precise operational mapping ensure that this $1 million limit remains a realistic target rather than an estimate. Dissecting Scenario B reveals how an abstract vision is translated into a rigorous physical plan. Execution requires a total decoupling of the future master plan from the immediate construction budget. This chart labels the $7.7 million master plan as a future destination vision. It is grayed out because it cannot be used to secure first-stage partners. The active target is a $625,000 institutional pilot. This middle tier is designed specifically for university, public, and research funders to prove the project's impact. A rigid $1 million Scenario B boundary line provides the absolute physical construction cap for the first phase. The exclusion list is specific. To hit this cap, the residential habitat, full production roastery, and expensive underground oculus are removed from the immediate build. The remaining inclusion list centers on a 500 square meter main building and 2 60 square meter teaching shelters. Explicitly defining what is excluded protects the budget for the core mission. Within a constrained budget, the spatial layout must be dictated by operational workflows to prevent cross-contamination. The Maridaje site is mapped across 5 critical operational flows, each represented here by a specific colored path. The orange arrows map the guest flow. This path guides visitors through the natural decompression entrance and into the hospitality zones. Cluster A plan accommodates this flow, maintaining a clear circulation through the entry and retail areas, into the cafe seating and the AI table learning zone. The education flow takes students from the tasting classrooms inside out to the external crop shelters. Raw materials follow the product flow, moving from dry storage into preparation areas and retail displays. The hospitality experience depends on keeping these guest, education, and product flows entirely segregated from back-of-house service operations. A single point of cross-traffic between guests and service staff instantly breaks the intended atmosphere. 2 highly contaminating flows pose a risk to the facility: staff service and waste. These flows carry significant risks to the hygiene and efficiency of a tight physical footprint. The schematic floor plan mitigates this by centralizing these hazards into Cluster E, a single isolated utility zone. Cluster E serves as a controlled back corridor. Public washrooms face the hospitality zones, while the support and laundry rooms remain tucked away. The brown waste flow and blue staff flow arrows show how these elements exit through the rear service access without ever intersecting with public areas. If a staff member must carry waste through the cafe seating to reach an exit, the operational layout is considered a failure. Effective schematic design isolates operational hazards from the core user experience. Moving outside the main building, the architecture changes to support the project's pedagogical mission. These technical sections for the Cacao Teaching Shelter illustrate how architecture adapts to field learning. The shelters are visually permeable, open-air structures. Deep eaves and cross-ventilation integrate the classroom directly with the surrounding plants. This low-mass design minimizes building code complexity and permit burdens, while maximizing the connection between student and soil. The interior design is shaped by ethical constraints. A A rejected master plan concept featured a glass floor for guests to observe workers in a lab below. Treating workers as a visual spectacle beneath a floor constitutes human surveillance and violates the project's mandate of dignity. The accepted rule for the project is use section, not surveillance. Architectural transparency should reveal intentional craft, never exploit human vulnerability. All of the flow mapping and spatial layout established so far hits a hard limit, the pre-architecture phase. Presenting conceptual blueprints as permit-ready construction plans is a project management error. These documents require local professional validation. This phase is governed by the Professional Pre-Review Request Pack Protocol. At this stage, the project owner asks local engineers for feasibility checks, structural reviews, and cost estimates, not final design work. Determining when to stop drawing and when to hire local professionals protects both the budget and the vision. Project facilitation succeeds by delivering an actionable handoff, the dossier that transfers agency from the architect back to the dream owner. Strict financial bounding and decoupled operational flows provide immunity against scope drift. Explicit limits on deliverables prevent a facilitator from accidentally becoming the permanent owner of the project. Success means transferring full agency back to the visionary, providing a constrained, executable system they can actually build.